Welcome back, everybody, to SHARC Doc Talk. I am Doc T with Dr. Deonson.
Hello.
Dr. D, I like, but it seems kind of demonic in a way. Yeah, anyway, for all you golfers out there with low back pain, we are talking to you today. But we're going to get that in a second. First, we're going to check in for the week.
Yeah, well, when you said Dr. D, you're still trying to figure out what to call me. I had a couple friends call me 3D because David, Deonson, and Doctor. So I was like, no, that's not bad. Keep that in the back pocket.
Okay.
I'll keep it in the back.
Let that simmer.
I'm always the proponent.
Let it marinate.
Yeah, I'm always the proponent. I'm never going to pick my own nickname. You guys make it up.
No, one of the new guys yesterday told me his nickname was Tank.
Did he?
Got it in 8th grade. Somebody gave it to him, and it stuck. And I was like,
that's how it should be.
kind of a cool nickname. Yeah.
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 And speaking of yesterday, we were with the Chargers, which was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always just good to see those guys during the OTAs and just talk to them. It's funny to catch up to them as humans. Rather
They
than
are humans,
athletes,
yes.
rather than athletes.
Yep.
You know, some people were talking about travel. Some people were talking about like,
It's
stuff.
once you're, because I'm like on the same schedule in a way, except during the off season I just run a practice and they didn't. Mm-hmm. But it's like you're like, where'd you go? What'd you do? You know, and a lot of them, it's really funny because a couple of guys were talking to you yesterday. We have a 4-week break coming up before we start preseason. Yeah, and I was like, where are you going? And most of them were kind of like, I don't really want to fly. Yeah, because we're going to be, I think, the 4th or 5th most traveled team. Yeah. Now, mind you, this is including the Rams who are flying to Australia. Mm-hmm. I think we still out-travel them. Yeah. Put that in perspective, right?
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of travel.
Yeah, we're like number 4 or 5. So a lot of guys are like, I just don't want to fly. I just want to not fly.
What's funny is that, more of the veterans are saying that. Some of the young guys are like, I want to go to this country, this country, this country. Like, I don't think you realize what's about to happen in these next couple days.
I mean, I'm so glad we're not going international anywhere. Thank God. Yeah. Probably next year I think we're due, and I'm hoping it's like Germany or something like that and not Australia.
Yeah, Australia would be rough, yeah.
Well, it's rough for them too. They come back and 10 days later they're playing again. Mm-hmm, yeah. And most people I know have talked to come back from Australia. They like it it's 7 days minimum just to feel normal. Yeah. Much less compete at a
high level. Yep.
And people are like, oh, they're paid for this. I'm like, I get that, but still. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, really, the funny part is the staff. Yeah. That's the people I'm actually... Because they get the worst. We're in coach seats.
Yeah, they don't have the first class seats.
Yep. No. So we're sitting and not complaining. It's just nature of the job, right? But it does break you down a little bit. So I think after this past year, Brazil, I think the other Kyra and I worked on 40% of the staff for like 3 weeks straight. That makes sense. To get them back to normal. That makes sense. It's just tough, man. So anyway, but yeah, it's always good to talk to them. Always good to rap. Yeah. See how they're doing. Yep. See the rookies. Mm-hmm. See new faces. And I'm still like, who is that?
Oh, yeah. I'm still learning a bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the way it works. So, yeah.
But so, yeah, that was yesterday. But the weekend, me and Nandi were able to go be a part of the Bomberos OCFA Cornhole Tournament. It's their 5th annual one. It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Yeah, but it's actually really fun. We love that community there. They're great. They normally usually grab other people to be a part of the event, and then for whatever reason, we popped into their head. They said, "Come on." They said, "Hey, instead of just playing, do you want a table out there?" I'll be like, "Yeah, dude, we'll make it happen." Yeah. It was fun. It was warm out there.
Yeah. Where was that? The city?
It was just right up here, up the street, in Irvine. But
like inland Irvine.
No, it's just Hangar 24, literally up the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way the sun hits in that location is kind of weird. Like, it's the whole shuffling of, the tables and everything like that. And obviously both of our tables are black. So we have to go figure out how not to burn patients at the same time. Not to.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. But, it's super fun. The people are great. And then what I like about firefighters is that if you do a good job for them, they will tell all their friends.
There's a lot of jokes about that that I was not privy to until I started working with them. Yep. And that's how that happened. So they send in the inspector. Yep. A couple guys just to check you out and see if you're legit, see if you're running a scam or not. Mm-hmm. And then the second they're like, nope, he's legit. Yep. Boom.
Yeah, you get a bunch.
Which is good. I mean, that's how things are. When we find a dentist or a mechanic, it's like I'm going to ask friends, like, because you go
who do
to
you trust. Yeah.
When we first bought our house, this is like sidebar, big sub, but this is that example. I had a patient who was a plumber, but he was a commercial size. I said, we have some leak or something in the house we just got in our spare bathroom. Try these people. Tell them I sent you. They'll give you the friend discount. Mm-hmm. The guy walked in. He opened the cabinet underneath. Saw, I got it. Went out, got the piece, came in, switched it out. He was there for 12 minutes. $367 was the friend discount. Mm-hmm. I was like... So we started asking around. So yes, they definitely want to make sure it's not a gimmick or a fraud or some kind of like weird thing going on, and we actually care, which we do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's always nice, and it's really nice too because it's like confirmation.
Oh yeah. And it's fun because sometimes what the firefighter schedule is
crazy.
They can't really you can't really plan them ahead in terms of like plan of care, right? So I hate to say our plan of care is like whenever you're free, right?
Well, yeah, it's like 8 o'clock. I got Forrest for another day.
Yep.
Or you get a text at 7:15. I'm off today. Can I come in?
Yeah.
Like,
so funny enough, some of the guys were coming off a shift just to say hi to the tournament, just because they had a bunch of friends there, and then they saw us saying hi and catching up, and everyone's doing great. It's always good to see like firefighters promoting. Met a couple of our patients that are promoting now to like captains.
Getting captains and
it's fantastic. So that was really fun. My hands were tired at the end of the day.
Oh God, yeah. Some big bodies though.
Oh yeah, nice people, big bodies. It was just yeah. And then you do the charges the next day, and I'm like, I should probably chill for a little bit.
And those are definitely some big boys.
But yeah, that was my weekend.
Cool.
Nandi enjoyed it too, but we're both tired.
I can imagine. Yeah. We had a lazy weekend. Mowed the lawn, yard work.
Yeah.
Kids finals.
Do your boys mow the lawn too?
Oh heck yeah!
Yes.
They're the ones that. So I'll go out and do certain sections, but I have them mow it. I'm usually weed whacking.
Yeah.
And my daughter's weeding with the wife.
Oh, nice.
So they'll kind of like go out. Everything gets done a lot faster.
Oh yeah, when there's
a lot faster.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. So yes, but that was it. Nothing exciting really. I think I'm saving my energy for the season.
No, you should. Lots of travel.
Yeah, we got another. We call it OTAs tomorrow, and then I'm off for a couple weeks, and then we have 4 weeks off, and then boom. And oddly enough, all of our preseason games are Thursday night games. Very weird. Yeah, we're in Seattle for Thursday night, then we're home against LA for Thursday night, and then I think we got the Niners for Thursday night.
Well, I mean, at least they're all spaced out evenly.
Sure. And then we get 10 days, and then we have our opener.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the schedule this year was kind of funky. Nothing bad or just, interesting.
Yeah.
Is the best way to look at it.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that's our weekends.
So, yeah, nothing exciting, man. It's really, we're winding down, getting ready for summer. My boys will have geometry in summer school. They're very excited. Very excited. I told them what I'd do, though, is I would actually give them the week off to just sleep in and be lazy before all that starts.
That's fair. That is fair.
And they're still not excited about it.
Actually, I don't blame them. Geometry I felt like you either liked it or you didn't, because it's math, but not really. I think I took it, but it was so long. I mean, I'm talking 40 years ago. So I know I took the class. I don't have much memory of it. Trig, I remember, Trig. Trig was fun. Yeah, Trig can be fun.
I love it. I don't know why I love trigonometry. I love that class. I don't know why. I hated calculus. Hated.
That's usually the separator.
Yeah. Algebra loved. Algebra 2 loved. Yeah. Trig loved. Calculus hated, which... Anyway, before we bore you with math classes. Okay, so let's move on here.
This is why we have this job.
All right, this is why we do this. Thursday. It's the weirdest schedule.
Yeah, it's
and then we literally have 14 days off, and then we host Arizona.
Okay, that was 2 weeks off. And
we get to go to Buffalo's new stadium.
Oh, yeah. They built
in September.
At least it's not like December where it's super close.
Right where it should be.
Yeah.
The only bad game we're going to have, it looks like, is at... No, that won't even matter. Denver, last game of the season.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, and they put us... I love how they do this, the Chargers. We host Kansas City and go to Denver.
It's two divisional big ones.
After coming off of San Francisco and at Miami.
Okay.
Miami's interesting because Mike, our new OC, their old head coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Tampa Bay, Baltimore were there in November. It won't be bad. Cool, but that's it.
Yeah.
Really no weather-intensive games.
Yeah. Buffalo's
knock
always
on wood, except for Denver.
Yeah. Buffalo is always that interesting one, especially if it's later in the season.
Oh, that one can be 5 feet of snow. And it doesn't really get cold. It's just snow.
Yeah.
I remember the one game they had, my second and third season, where they had 5 foot of snow. And the players were FaceTiming each other because they have buddies that are on the team. Because, there's a lot of crossover.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were FaceTiming him. The one guy dove in and disappeared. You're just a 6'6", 300-pound man just disappeared in snow. That's crazy. Yep. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, well, back to topic. Talk about football for a while. So we talked earlier, brought this up a few weeks ago about golfers. And we wanted to cover golfers and low back pain because it's really kind of the most common thing that comes along. So when it comes to kind of golf, the question we always ask, what's the biggest mistake golfers make? So, Dr. David, what is the biggest mistake golfers make?
The biggest mistake?
Once their back starts hurting.
So their back starts hurting. It's usually, at least from what I've seen, can't separate the use of their hips and their low back.
Yeah.
That's what I've been seeing.
A lot of stress going into, and a lot of people. I mean, golf is a sport. They joke and say, "Oh, it's a lifetime sport."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're also a lifetime patient as well because of that, because it's usually a problem. Like the one thing I see a lot of people get through is their back will tighten up. They'll kind of play through it. They'll switch their swing up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much of a backswing, easy on the follow through. They'll club up. So in lieu of trying to stroke the ball normally, they'll just club up so the club doesn't want to work for them, which is smarter anyway. But they kind of just keep pivoting around until they're sidelined.
Yeah.
And the next big mistake we see from there is they just kind of rest and don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or the one that, my favorite thing about this, they run to stretching or mobility stuff.
Yep.
And so we're trying to unlock our hips and move this and what's the other stuff? All the terminology these days. Unlock the hips and what do they call it? Not fireproof, but
bulletproof.
Bulletproof this and bulletproof that. And I kind of smile like, that's not going to do it.
Yeah, and I also hate saying this. I'm gonna be the guy to say it. Whenever someone says they're gonna fully bulletproof something, and there's
no such thing.
No such thing.
No.
Injury prevention is a questionable thing.
No, especially in the funniest thing is in sport.
Yeah,
and it's fascinating because 99%, like true doctors that work with athletes, like truly, 60% of their patient base are athletes competing in something.
Yeah,
not just I go to the gym Monday through Friday. And when you look at that, you're going, there's no way. You can mitigate risks for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the guys, perfect example. One of our receivers strained his abdominal a little bit. Now, nothing serious,
that one,
but he could feel it. And he's like, how? And I'm looking at him laughing, going, he has, hamstring issues or adductor issues or hip, whatever other issues there are. When you're an athlete, the nature of your sport dictates that you're doing certain things consistently.
Yeah.
Period. Even in football, right?
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver. So he's going to pedal, stop, pivot, turn, whatever, and he's going to have a tendency on one side versus the other. Just the nature of the beast, right? And it's where you're most comfortable and powerful in your mind. Golf is probably that on crack, because bad way to put it, that times 10, because you're going to have the same swing that you're going to perform, depending on how good you are, 45 to 65 times in a round, right? And the rest will be putting, which is my 30 to 40 other shots around, so whatever. But you have that repetitive motion, even though you go from a driver to a pitching wedge or whatever in between, it's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's roughly the same frame.
Yeah, so if you have a flaw in your mechanism, you're going to repeat that 65 times on a round of golf.
Especially if it's a painful one.
Yeah.
And you're just used to swinging that way. I usually liken golfers to, funny enough, powerlifters, just in different ways. You're going to do a lot of the same stuff all the time.
Yes.
All the time. Just
and then
different
think
ways.
that you're going to stretch your hamstrings and not get hurt?
Yep.
Yeah. So the reason I harp on this, I'm just not a fan of stretching as the answer. I think there's a lot of issues we can have, but I don't think stretching is the answer for those issues. And it is funny because there's what is it called? They call it a sleepy glute or something like that. It was hilarious.
Tired
I
glute,
like glute amnesia. Like your glute just forgot how to be a glute anymore. And I think it's funny because when you really break it down, people are like, is that really something that can happen is true? It's like, yes, your body can become deficient in function. Yeah. And so I like to say, as opposed to thinking muscle A, B, or C is now shrinking or it's tight or it's, I hate this word, whatever, it's tight. It actually is, think of the whole system. You know what I mean? It's everything. So when I go to deadlifting hurts my back sometimes, right? The mechanism of bending over is the problem, not the deadlifting part.
Yeah.
And people will say, and I've had doctors who I respect very much, but I disagree with them on this point, saying people should never deadlift. And my initial smart ass response right off the bat is, well, then what do you do when you drop your keys?
Yeah, no, that's very true.
What you do? That's a deadlift. That's a hip hinging motion. You need to be efficient.
Yeah.
Now, I also learned a lesson too. I didn't even talk about my week, but kind of skipped it. I did, but I forgot the one biggest part I told you earlier.
Talked about
it's right on top. I actually deadlifted again.
Nice.
Without pain.
Yep, we talked about this.
300 times 5 times 5. So 5 sets, 5 reps. I'm so used to saying rounds sometimes.
300, were you at a kilo plates or were you at?
No, it's 295.
What's 300? Whatever.
I can put on 2.5s, I guess. Anyway, 295. Either way, it's 300 rounded up.
It's 300.
We're fine. The bar had an extra tape on it. So anyway, but I did that and I got through the 5.
Heavier collars.
Right? And I had no pain. I was smart enough to go, hey, I feel good. Let's go on to, I actually did a belt squat.
Okay.
Because they had that at the gym, which I love that thing.
Love those.
It's just nice, easy, just nice depth. It was good control. Felt amazing. I was so happy. Anyway, but point is you lose that hip hinge. So you've forgotten how to actually move.
Oh, yeah.
And I think one of the coolest tricks, I think you were privy to it too, where I give the interns, and I love this, people, who have hip hinge issues. Oh, I should have said that for Alvin's patient. I'll have to bring that up.
It's recorded. We'll
yeah, Alvin, watch the show. And so we did this party trick, we call it, where somebody says it hurts when I bend over. I say, okay, cool. I get their toes up on some object, a book, doesn't matter, pillow, just, the front part of their foot. Have them hip hinge 10 times, not into pain, just, comfortable. Don't bend your knees. Then flip around, get your heels up on it. Do the same thing, palm off, and now try to touch your toes. And 99% of people won't have pain. And 90 or 100% of people go further.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't make your hamstrings magically longer in 20 reps or some 10, whatever. And I kind of smile like it's because you don't know how to do it. Now we take the golf swing. Sorry, golfers, we're back. Here you go.
We're back.
When you take the golf swing, for those that are watching, you stand straight, you hinge at your hip just enough, almost like a mechanic getting into an engine, and you hold that position. Now, if you take a practice swing or 2 or 3, or you kind of hold that position and feel it out, like the longer you're there, the more fatigue sets in.
Yeah.
If you have a bad hip hinge movement system, and you're going to repeat that however many practice swings, however long you hover over the ball, whatever, that's that repetition. And that's where we get to, it's not tissue A, tissue B, tissue C, it's the system.
Together.
It's just that the system, like the receiver with the abdominals, the system is dysfunctional, so it's going to throw the stress and something's going to take it. Inadvertently, and it's too much to load with it.
Yeah.
And it gets a pull. That's it. It really sounds, I'm probably oversimplifying this by monumental bounds, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we try to simplify to make it make sense to everyone. Like, I try to put it this way. It's like your body doesn't necessarily care how it gets from point A to point B. It's just going to get to point A to point B. It just depends on if it takes the most efficient way or not.
And when you tell it to do something, especially in sport, you don't have time to think through, okay, lean into my hips, absorb through this, this, and this. And okay, my pronators work and tear this. And it doesn't work that way. You jump. Okay, I'm going to jump. How you jump and how you land is not in your hands anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why, people jumping and landing, spraining an ankle. Same concept.
Happens.
So back to golfers. So that's the repetition. Now, if you picture that and you start altering the mechanics of your swing, which, for most golfers who are, say you're a twice a week golfer kind of person to 5 days a week golfer kind of thing, where you're consistent, maybe you have a coach, you're going to know, this is where knowledge kills you. You're going to know how to open things up to allow you to move the way you need to, not the way you want to, the way you need to perform the task you're asking your body to perform.
Yeah.
But now you're going to build in a new compensation pattern.
Yep.
And this is why you go from a back to a knee, T-spine to shoulder and neck. You'll just start pivoting out because you're changing the absorption of that stress to some other tissue. Yeah. Which is not designed for that, right? So, yeah.
We had one of our favorite patients that comes in.
He's one of our favorite. I do love the guy. Yeah.
As in, like, you'll know when he comes in. And when he comes in, he will talk about the same thing for 15 minutes.
Oh, he's good golf. Oh, the golf.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, all the golf. And he hasn't been in the office for a little bit because he's been doing good. But then he noticed a couple things on his swing, at least the stuff that we've gone over before. And he said, yeah, I feel like I can't open up on the back end and my neck can't turn. And then he'll mention the greats on this swing. All the greats, they do X, Y, and Z. And I could probably say it word for word at this point. Anyways, needless to say, after doing like our assessments, he said, yeah, I got a couple tools just to learn how to open up on my backswing and also be able to turn through and try to get my hip underneath me without losing my core. At least he knows all the buzzwords now. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I saw him try to open up his swing. He's like, see, look, it's fantastic. I'm like, well, kind of. And what I meant by that was he's getting up, but he's not getting it through his mid-back. He's actually extending through his low back to mimic rotation.
It's called early extension. Yep. For golfers, yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting there, and then all of a sudden he's losing his core to turn his hip around, and then he's not stable on that right leg anymore as he's transferring over to his left. Obviously, he said, yeah, I'm strong everywhere. Sure.
So think of the principle for golfers, especially, because golfers love this stuff because they really want to understand this. And unfortunately, golf, probably more so in most sports, is very well overthought. Yeah. Like we've had amazing golfers come through and the mental game just breaks down on them and they kind of lose it at the end. That's golf. Yeah. It's just one of those things, like tennis is so reactive. There's a mental component, but you're driving into that natural place so quickly. It's the mental thing you'd have to really, and you don't have a lot of time. Yeah. In golf, if you're playing with us, that ball I hit might be a work in progress to find it. Which means you're standing there thinking and thinking and thinking. And if you're on a golf course at a tournament, and even above average players, there's so much time between the drive and the putt, and then you got the next hole.
Yeah.
And they're talking 3.5 hours of nonstop
And then
thinking,
you're just
right?
walking to your shot.
Yeah. And now lump in any other thing. This is where the psychosomatic response comes into play, where it's like, your back's bugging you going into it all. So you're going to change mechanics, whatever. With someone like him, the reason I like to bring this up is when your back turns on, so it's like flex your arm for me, right? Golfers out there. Now, in order to flex your arm, you have to relax your triceps among other tissues. You have to.
Yeah.
There's no way to move otherwise. So if you're going to swing at the ball and go through this huge monster rotation and your back extends too early, your opposing muscle groups, things like your core, abdominals, they have to turn off to allow you to extend back. Well, that happens. They just don't turn back on because they're supposed to, right? They have to already be manufactured in that movement pattern. They have to be built in. And if they're taken out, now you have to find something else. Inhibitory processes like that are why people get hurt and why he's having his issue.
Yeah.
That's why you come see people like us. Like that's literally golfers out there. Like, what do you do wrong? ABC, then you take time off, then you go back, doesn't hurt, keep going, play 18, now it hurts again.
Yeah.
And you just do it like this. You got to come in and have somebody like Dr. Deonton here, 3D. 3D.
We'll take it.
No, it's still marinating.
It's marinating.
But you have him come in and he looks at you and like, you can't watch a video and see what I see.
Yeah.
Not you, a patient out there. So if you're a golfer and you're videotaping it, your trainer is, swing coach, I'm going to see something different than they're going to see. That's why more eyes is better.
Yeah. Like, there's been times I've literally just taken film and asked Dr. I'm like, hey, what do you see here? And then we just compare. Yeah. Especially for runners, like, I suck it. The runners stuff.
It's really, I mean, it's just years, right? I'm 23 years into this, right?
I'll even bring it to Alvin, too. I'll be like, hey, what are you seeing?
And I'll tell you what, one of the best, even for golf, guys, when I was very fortunate to be in the place I was when I began in a CrossFit gym. Yeah. Because I got to see, and this was back 2002, 2003, so CrossFit was just barely getting going. So the High Rocks athletes out there, same thing. This all applies to all of you. You're all the same athletes. Even golfers, even tennis players, just not chess players. They have a different issue. But
a lot of different issues there.
But it was fascinating because I got to watch 5-6 classes a day, 10 to 12 people per class, doing the same movements, right? Because the same workout for the day, right? So I got to watch them because I'd be in the gym from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. watching and working. All these groups come through. So it was like watching film on movement patterns
all the time,
every day, all day for weeks, months, and years on end. So I was very fortunate. So for me, I got to see it because in CrossFit or High Rocks, you bring in all these other elements, right? And a lot of golfers out there who like to get into those type of workouts, there's nothing wrong with that. This is another podcast we're talking about time. Just stay within yourself and understand the purpose of the workout. The purpose of the workout is not to sweat real hard and can't breathe. The purpose of the workout is to make you stronger so you don't get hurt on the golf course or at least mitigate some of the risk of that injury. But back to golfers. That's why that stuff happens. So getting somebody to actually look at you and how you move changes the whole way the game is.
Yeah.
And then if you can give them tricks, one more thing, give them tricks to do on the golf course, which is what we love doing. Go ahead.
Yeah. With that, I had to agree with him on one thing. He did have some strength. So it's not that it wasn't that he was weak. It was like,
no. It's more firing patterns.
Yeah, firing patterns. So I had to change his brain of like, is my core on versus where's your core percentage at during your swings? Right. It's an easier concept for him to understand because like if he's good, let's say on his follow through and he's good all the way back here, but he's pretty bad in the middle, there's a leakage of power somewhere. Right. So it's not necessarily on. It's like, was it at this point in time in your swing, the most explosive part of the swing where the club is meeting the ball and you're not working, right? Something is happening, right? Yep. So we gave him some rehab. Well, I gave him some rehab in that specific position, failing everywhere. On his right leg. Left leg, fine. Guess where that problem was happening?
Right. It's the best thing though. Like we don't laugh. It's not like we're laughing at the patient. We're laughing because like that's awesome. Yep. That is literally the point, is to find the flaw. You can find the flaw and then begin to fix the flaw and intertwine it with everything else, then done. Yep. There you go. It's like, and people get kind of laughing, they'll talk to us and we'll give them a fix. Like I think I told you I had one guy, hands and knees, just doing a shoulder tap, just to do some anti-rotation, right? Right hand came up, he was fine. Left hand came up, collapsed. Just, I had to catch it. I was like, I've never seen that in my career. Yeah. And I was, my eyes were like, wow, that's crazy. So yes. So we really are all over the place. But golfers, if you think about that, if you're a right-handed golfer, right, and you're going backswing here and rotating through this way, if you have a leakage meaning that something's not firing right, the compartments aren't working together, the engine isn't working together very well, Then you have things like a left oblique or right oblique or left glute or right oblique and left glute, whatever, a crisscross pattern where something's inefficient. And then you're going to compensate by tossing your back in there instead. Mm-hmm. And once you do that, that swing stays with you until someone like Dr. D or Triple D. It's hard, man. I'm going to get there. Okay. Dr. Deonson or myself looks at you and goes, oh, there's the problem. Here we go. Fix it. And that's kind of I guess that's the whole point of it all.
Yeah.
That's going to be the why you're having the pain.
If you haven't caught on, I'm gonna get the elephant in the room here. We're trying to avoid root cause.
And especially because I see certain professions that are very like they have one tool in their bag.
Yep.
Ain't gonna happen.
All right. Can I go on the tangent for the root cause for a little bit?
Oh, please. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I've been wrestling with that statement for the longest time. Because I've used it, but also I didn't love it, right? And I was talking to other clinicians, how do we talk about it? Especially clinicians that I really respect and enjoy and learned with in school. And they didn't like the statement either, but I thought they were fantastic clinicians. And then someone put it into words. So Dr. David Newton, if you ever see this, I don't think you ever will see this, but if you do, cool. He's like, root cause is correct until we kind of think about the word root cause because you're implying it's one thing.
Yes.
It's never one thing.
No, it's never. It does, the body doesn't work that way.
And then you're implying that one treatment helps that one thing.
No, but also impossible.
People are complex. Yes. So you could be the root cause, but not in the way that you think it is.
We can go down a whole rabbit hole. See, this is why it's hard to just say golfers, we're going to talk about just this, because you know what? I just nailed this one in my head. Got it.
Cool.
So when we have our podcast, because I have had some people say you guys get off a little tangent here and there.
Oh, we do. We apologize.
Yeah. Well, kind of. We apologize when they're goofy ones. Yep. But the purpose is the reason that happens is because in our brains, there is no one root cause. There is no one this or that. There is no one singular thing. Like your body. Your body didn't break unless it was a trauma. That would be a singular act that caused a breakage of the body from a trauma. Yeah. That doesn't happen to 90% of people, right? 99% of people, thank God.
Especially if it's chronic pain.
Especially in athletes.
Yeah.
So we have to cover the bases because there is no one answer. You know, it's funny. You can go through ChatGPT or Grok or internet or talk to people and they go, you know, here's the 3 things you need to do this and that and the other. And it's like, well, there are no 3 things. And there are 3 things. There are probably 3 very different things for everybody who's very different. Yep. If I back squat and have pain, there might be 3 different things I need to do that you don't have to do, but you have to do something else.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. But the reason you and I bounce, just that, you saying that just triggered this.
Fair.
That's why. Because there isn't one answer. There isn't one thing. And so when you and I try to talk about things like golfers and low back, well, yeah, it's the repetitious words, the buzz phrases, buzzwords you hear about all these things. The true factor is, what are you doing as a human? And that's why we bring in a case study like this gentleman we're talking about, our golfer, and other golfers we've had, because there's a case study. Now I can take a real story, real situation, tell you out there about this real situation, what we did for that person to figure that out. Doesn't mean that's your issue. So when we talk about these things, that's our tangent.
Yeah, and then if we talk about like him and that mindset too of those roots of causes.
Roots causes?
There's
roots
a bunch
causes.
of them. Yeah,
roots causes.
Roots causes. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll use. But you know,
roots is causes.
The multiple roots that could be adding to the issue is like it for him. It's probably not as much mechanical as he thinks it is.
So here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
We as clinicians tend to forget these people that come to us. This is not like their first injury of their life. I mean, we've got 22-year-old football players we work with. We've seen some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to plague them forever.
Yeah.
Even when they're done with football, just living their life. Because these things are now built into their, like me blowing a disc out and I lose half my calf, right?
Yeah, that's
built into my mechanics. So when I try to run, my mechanics are going to be completely different now than they used to be.
Yeah.
Right? And that's forever. And they're going to go through the same thing. So this gentleman, because he's a little older, later 50s, early 60s, depends on what he tells. His age is aloof.
He's older. We'll just keep it on older.
But with him, he's come to us for multiple things, and he's going to have little things that pop up in life, and just that's how it is. So that's why, that's really crazy that triggered that in my brain. That makes a lot more sense for us. But that's why. I mean, we can talk about specific golfers, but it's going to lead into CrossFitters, and then all of a sudden now we're talking about powerlifters, and then we're going to talk about roots is causes.
I guess.
I feel like we're Schmiegel.
Roots is causes. I guess is now going to be the new term that we're going to be using everywhere.
Roots causes. Anyway, but that's an interesting thing. We just had an epiphany here on our show. Thank you for being here. And so it's good, but that is true, and there really isn't, and that's why I was like talking about the singular modality. Massage therapist isn't going to fix the one thing. because this massage therapy is the only answer. Doesn't work. Now, that might help for sure. That's why, you'll teach interns. I taught interns. Your bag of tricks has got to be massive, including the one piece that you realize I can't help this person the way they should be getting helped. I know where to send them.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a powerful tool to have in your bag because that gives you, that's why we have like Dr. G for ultrasounds or just stem cells or PRP or some other alternative care factor before we get to surgeries and anything else. But it is interesting. Do you have something to say?
I'll let you keep on.
Thank you. I did get into a book a patient told me about, and it refers to the psychosomatic part of the body, how the brain has power. And so when you think about that, we talk about traumas in sport where you break something or get a hit or tear something, violently. There's also those mental micro traumas, those little things in your brain, like I said earlier about going to a golf tournament, going to a powerlift meet. If your knees just doesn't feel right,
oh, you're going to be so off mentally.
It's going to suck, man, because your brain, you have to find a way to build up that wall. And which is also my theory on why people play better when they're hurt in sports.
No, that's
because they mentally know they're deficient, so they've got to push harder.
Oh yeah,
the ones that blow your minds are the ones that are 100% are feeling great and can then push harder then too, because that's a really big trick for a lot of people.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yeah, that's this when it comes to sports. That's why we always laugh. If you're going to see a sports doc, make sure they can talk like this. And they can have this conversation, understanding all the complexities that go in. And that includes the Weekend Warriors, the tennis group we did, the Bombarderos and their cornhole. I love cornhole. Cornhole is fun. Yep. You ever played in the rain, though?
No.
It's not easy.
No. I don't.
It sticks.
So to bring it back to that cornhole tournament real quick, we're actually happy this year. We were supposed to play, but we just didn't sign up in time. So I said whatever. But in previous years, they actually had pros on there. That would show
running
up.
The ringers.
Yeah, and I was looking. I'm like, why are we even here?
Yeah, we have no shot.
Yeah, there are curving shots coming around this way. I'm like, I don't. Dude,
we're not. No, it's like in the movie Wanted with their curving bullets from 360 rooms.
And I'm gonna be honest, it's Hangar 24, right? So that means we're having a beer in a cornhole bag in our,
which does not improve the hand-eye coordination.
No, we want it to. It just
it feels better.
The swing oil,
way more fun,
but
way more fun. But anyway, so
back to this important.
But
stuff
these are the things
here.
Is like as golfers go, if you already have a mental game, whatever, you have a little injury going on, like there's components mentally that contribute to the rest of the play too.
Yeah, and as golf, we've mentioned earlier, you kind of get stuck in like that analysis paralysis of your swing. Like, are you back
Some
here?
are worse than others, but yes.
Yep. Our patient that we were kind of talking about, it's a little bit more worse than the others. I'd say here. But with that being said, sometimes pain comes from that because it's quote unquote psychosomatic.
Yep.
The way your brain thinks about it, now your body's sensitive to it.
Yep.
And that affects your swing. So you feel like you have to change a bunch of stuff to make your swing feel more comfortable when you didn't have to change anything. You would have been fine if just letting it do its thing. That's where we kind of get that low back pain kind of coming in too. Then we could go down multiple rabbit holes on that one. But
we usually do. That's why we try to keep ourselves no back end schedule on this. And then for golfers out there, just back to you guys too. When it comes to golf, you're going to have, the golf swing is 40 quintillion variations, right? There's so many things you can do wrong and right golf swings. But let's say you got low back pain. Let's say you take the rest time, you pop some Advil, had a beer, whatever, and it just won't go away to the point where you're kind of like, you're not even looking forward to really playing golf because you can't play the way you want, which is another big component. Yeah. Like I played volleyball for years. If I go and play volleyball now, I look like I can play, but I can't play the way I know I used to play. So it's not as much fun. Yeah. Still enjoy it, but not as much fun.
Fair, yeah.
But with golfers, question is always like, what do I do next? And there's always a simple answer. And it really does come down to those things like you need to find, and not just trying to sell us, just you need to find somebody who can look at your body and find out what's going on with your body because these things become serious. Yeah. So the one patient Alvin was talking about, has a 7 millimeter disc bulge now. Well, the problem is on picture, that sounds and looks scary. However, that didn't just come up from yesterday to today. No. Right? This is something that's been coming on and the symptoms just popped out. So the mechanism that's causing the problem has been there a while. Yeah. So those are people like you need to get in. So if you're having stiffness and pain playing golf, you got to get in. Yeah. You just got to see somebody before it becomes, what do we call that? That I did like. We called it the
self-fulfilling.
The patients. There's the crisis patient and the one before that. Those words I like. Yeah. I like the way that resonated with people. I have to remember what that is. But you want to come in when you're a maintenance patient. So we're going to have some stiffness, some tightness, maybe a little pain. We can manage to get through it, mitigate some risk, and fix some other things. When you become the crisis patient, that's MRI, possible surgeries, shots, like everything that's chaotic. Yeah. And if you think coming back from having a little pull or strain is hard, that stuff. I had back surgery. It's not a picnic coming back from that. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody unless you absolutely obviously need it. So, yes.
As a reminder for surgery, if you're ever going to have to do it, there is clinical reasonings as to why you should go get some. But you have to remember that's also still a trauma, but controlled. So you have
It's a control. And for spinal surgery, you're in a coma.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out because you can't even dream. You can't be, because if you move at all, things are going to go bad fast.
Yeah.
So these are all things that we try to help. Like when we talk about this jokingly, but in the back of our heads, we understand the seriousness of what it could do. We're like, and don't mess with your back. There's no reason to mess with your back. Anyway.
Yeah. Back to the golf real quick, because I know we're kind of everywhere on this one to kind of
we're doing great.
Kind of put somewhat of a bow on it. Is like one, I think before you start adding a couple changes outside of playing with a couple changes, have some assessments going on.
You should absolutely.
Yeah. Instead of just thinking, I need to be able to open more, you have to ask what needs to open more.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you like basketball. You play basketball, right?
Yeah.
If you and I go shoot hoops, our inherent risk of injury is really, really, really low. It is not a volatile movement. You don't have to leave the ground.
No, especially if we're just shooting free throws.
You're just shooting the ball around, right? If I'm peppering with my wife and just hitting the ball volleyball back and forth, or playing catch with my son, or whatever, these are not high velocity sports. Golf, even training, going to the range, is high velocity.
Yeah.
So there are some sports, like tennis. You and I can go grab a tennis racket right now and some balls. All our tennis people out there, you'd laugh at us. We wouldn't hurt ourselves unless we tried to dive for something that skinned our knees, right?
Yeah. Or we just get too competitive.
But we're not skilled enough to really wind up and wham. It's like we just don't have that. And we're still serving underhand, right? But with golf, even the most basics, the basic of golf, the swing, just in and of itself, 5-iron swing, chip putt, whatever, chipping swing, whatever, it still has this dynamic flow to it.
Yeah.
So there are some sports that you do have to. There's no doubt you need somebody to look at you.
Yeah.
Somebody to watch you do your thing, make sure there's nothing in there that's going to cause problems, or whatever is going to cause problems, you can start working on it.
Yeah.
That assessment thing. It's interesting. I never thought about golf from this perspective right here, right now, but that is just one of those things. There's no way to play the sport, 50%.
Yeah.
Like shooting hoops.
Yeah. You don't slow down your driver.
Yeah. I'm just feeling it. Oh, no. It's like the rotation. It just,
Well, I'll say truly, mentally, they'll tell you to slow it down a little bit, but like truly, you're not really.
Well, don't try to hit it hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not. You know what we got to do? We got to get Mark on here.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We got to see if we can reach out to him and get him on here sometime.
Yeah, Mark would be fun. We'll reach out to Mark.
Yeah. We have a golf pro that's just awesome. He loves golf, like passionate about golf. So getting him talking about it is just a blast. And he's the kind of guy that he'll watch your swing. Mark Reed out there, by the way. He'll watch your swing and see something's wrong, but he doesn't try to do what we do. He says, okay, something's off. You need to go see these guys so they can find out what that is.
Yeah.
We find out what it is, tell him. He goes, got it, and tweaks it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's so funny. Some people are like, but is it complicated? I'm like, no, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Usually these tweaks are not monumental. It's usually like, done. So
I even have to say that with powerlifters, because I see a bunch of coaches trying to do our jobs for that, which I get. You guys are good, but sometimes the biggest thing that I have to be, I have to pepper in some powerlifting stuff. I'm sorry, guys.
It's just there.
The biggest thing that I saw, right, the difference between clinicians and coaches was that, we call it the torquing in deadlifting, as in once everything gets a little too heavy for you, you start shaking on the way up.
Oh yeah, vibrating.
Yep. Yeah, you start vibrating on the way up. Everyone thinks that's a hip and hamstring issues, but after you take a little bit more of a deeper dive clinically, it's the hip trying to get back to neutral. So it's the deeper core muscles trying to pull you up.
Yeah, trying to do something.
Yeah. So
Praying.
If you put them in a hollow hold, they can't hold it. So guess what that is? Not a hamstring problem.
Nope.
Yep.
I'm still saying. So golfers, we're kind of done.
Yep.
So you can check out if you want to.
Yep.
But if you want to learn a little more, we'll talk about this real quick just because we have a few minutes.
Yep.
Hamstrings and the psoas could be the most misunderstood, overused termed, like roots is his causes is, that I've ever encountered. When I hear people, because hamstrings it's the hammies, it's the hammies, it's the hammies. I'm like,
it's part of it.
They don't really do anything. Like they have a job, right? Like obviously pull urgency or whatever. But their stabilization factors in it are far more important than any extensive powers like the hip is. And the leg isn't really meant to extend that far back. It's more there as a biomechanical trait, if you will. Yeah. And when you squat, they're not going anywhere. They're creating stability to help the pelvis do its job, right? But they get blamed and stretched to death. I told that story years back about, whatever. Yeah. And then you got psoas too. But you always laugh and you look at them going, 9 times out of 10, shoot, 999 million out of a billion, they're just not the problem.
Yeah. I would say the area of pain can be the hamstrings, or the tightness can be, but even
100%.
even in school, especially when we do that stupid test, I call it the stupid test because everyone thinks it's dumb, but I love this test. You take their leg and you bring it up, and they say, yeah, my hamstring's tight. That's not your hamstring. We're testing your nerve.
Yeah. Especially if you point the toe.
Oh, yeah. When you point, I was like, we're testing your nerve.
And another part that I think is really undersold too is the fascial system.
Yep.
Yeah, because you have the fascia, which is everywhere.
Yep.
And that one behind the knee, especially with the, I do the rope stretch.
Yeah.
Those things, there's, again, what we're talking about just the hamstring, and you and I have covered 5 different things.
Yeah, this is a hilarious podcast to edit.
It's just, oh my God, I can't even imagine. God bless you for it.
So I just still got to edit the other one.
Yeah, but we're going to do next time, we're going to cover, I think, clinician versus coaching.
Yeah.
I think that's a great topic for people out there, mostly for people being coached and clinicians who are working with coaches. Like, we can give some good insight on how to make that work really well. I think that was kind of cool. You brought that up. But, okay. We've beat this horse to death. Golfers, this was really about you. We just, like I said,
I had coffee.
But we can't. If you go to a podcast and they can literally talk about just golf and low back pain and just that, they're basically they're repeating themselves over and over and over again. We don't. We just gonna veer off because it's like, well, there's our golfers that, guess what? They do high rocks. Guess what? They go to the gym. Guess what? They power lift. Guess what? They like to play volleyball. Like they do other things, right? Other than just golf, which would be awesome just to play your sport. But nonetheless, so we do tangent out a little bit, but believe me, it's all kind of connected because we want your brain to understand, change the way you're thinking about a tight muscle and think of the system not working properly.
Yeah.
And if you think about your body that way, and don't overthink, but think of it that way, everything gets a little easier when you're trying to fix things because you're like, okay, it's not just this. Why is it doing that? Find your why, not your roots causes.
Roots causes.
That's where if I see it, I'm going to lose my mind.
I guess the way I can kind of put that into some summary too is like we don't treat golfers, we treat humans that golf.
Yes, so, that's a great way to look at it. We look at humans at golf.
Yeah, because you will do a bunch of other stuff that I won't, or you will do the same things that I do.
Well, I would say, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We have to treat you as how you operate.
How you live in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, you exist in the world longer in a day than you do in golf.
Yeah.
Right?
Golf I hope you do, because if you play like...
Oh, God.
There's some people, I'm just going to say this out loud. I've definitely asked a couple of patients, like, how long do you golf? Oh, yeah, all weekend. And it was
legit. Played 5 rounds over Saturday. Like, what? How?
Yep.
Don't you have a family?
I was like, that's 18 hours.
That's a lot of... That's too much golf.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a very good way to look at it. But it is like we're training humans that play golf, whatever it is you do, right? And we're simply trying to give you as many tools in your bag that you can use to help yourself with these situations. But it is interesting. There are just some sports that you just have to have somebody help you. It's not just an inherent kick the ball, throw a ball.
I wish it was that easy.
We'd
all be that good.
Well, the golf courses would be packed. That'd be horrible.
Everyone would be Usain Bolt because it's just running. But everyone would be Michael Phelps because it's just swimming. You need a coach.
Man, that guy. Imagine, like, I don't know how my kids do it. They follow a black line, but when it comes to race time, because they had like 3 or 4 weeks off, and they always get for the year. Yeah. I asked each of them like individually at different times, "Do you miss racing?" And they're like, "Yes." And I was like, oh, and you could see that sparkle in their eye, like, oh, I want to beat somebody. Yep. I want to race. And I was like, okay. And you spend 2.5 hours following a black line 6 days a week.
I can't.
Once a month, you get to race. I'm like, wow, they love it. Yep. To the point of like one of the places we went to a hotel, like I said before, they literally hung out in the pool for like 3 hours in between. I was like, you guys are just whatever. Anyway, so golfers, no, don't play 18 hours of golf. Just go get assessed. Listen to the stuff we say. No, it's not your hamstrings. No, it's not your hip flexor. Chances are it's 19 other things that you haven't really looked at or addressed. That's where you want to kind of start going, okay, think of the system, not the body parts.
Yep. And stop trying to diagnose yourself.
Yeah, please.
Well, I just stopped doing that to myself. I ask him or ask Alvin what's going on.
Mine was easy. Stop being stupid. It really wasn't that complicated. Just stop being stupid.
Yep. I applaud you guys, but you're going to be biased in your own opinion. So just
and you're going to end up hurting yourself. When it comes to athletes, I always tell them, be the dumb athlete. Let your coaches, and if you have clinicians like us, let us manage everything. You just go play the sport.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll make sure of that. All right. Whew, that was a good one. I'm Doc T.
I'm Dr. David.
We'll see you guys next time.